Planning on making any analysis video of the trailer. I was thinking about it, poking around on YouTube. A lot of people are already doing it. But yeah, hey, you know what we could do? Maybe after the next battle or so here, I'll open it up and we'll just do it live. What do you think? We'll do like a shot by shot. You guys can comment. What do you think? Okay, who's ready to analyze that trailer a little bit? Okay, I'm basically gonna sort of pause it shot by shot, okay? Before he became a hero, he was the super weapon of gods and kings. Woo woo! So we've got like, yeah, sort of the medieval setting here. I think this is a ship that just hit the top of the building there. If you guys notice anything, let me know. All right, that stuff that I'm not noticing. But so something I said for a while, I was thinking they were going to maybe do a Quake reboot and combine the Doom and Quake universes. That's clearly not technically what they're doing, but something Hugo Martin said about the art style, he kind of described Doom's art style as becoming something that fits much more into an art style that people have usually used to describe Quake with. So I think, almost in an unofficial way, this does feel kind of like the way that they've chosen to combine Quake and Doom. Because original Quake had that medieval style with the combination of like melee and guns, and that's ultimately what this game is. Getting a glimpse of some environments here. So what do you guys think about the pelt? Honestly, I didn't. Peter C saying, I honestly didn't think it was possible they would make the Doom Slayer look even cooler than before. But that fur cape, the pelt, yes, it ain't bad. Yeah. Now I was just saying, like last night, I think before the trailer was released, I was saying like people were worried it would be all hand-to-hand combat if it became medieval, because it was kind of leaked that it was called Dark Ages. And so people were saying, well, all the high-tech weapons are gone. But like in Doom Eternal, they said that the super shotgun was a weapon from his past. So I kind of assumed that would still be a mainstay in the medieval or Dark Ages era here. Now, someone pointed out that this bubble here that this is opening up, this looks like the Maker technology. So there's probably going to still be some Maker stuff going on because they were sort of intermixed in their cultures at the time. How do y'all feel about this shield? Captain America a little bit. Now that's interesting. So this beam, I didn't notice it the first time around, but this beam here, I guess this is just taking it to another level in terms of how the Doomslayer transports. But I think this is literally him as a fireball, because watch, he lands, it lands, there's the explosion, and it's just him. Boom. And there he is. It's like he didn't even have a ship. Okay, so I was watching Under the Mayo break this down a little bit, and he was saying like this is probably a Mancubus like in a stagger state. Makes no sense that literally in one shotgun blast you're taking out a Mancubus. Look at this. One shot. And then we got this weapon here. It's literally taking a skull, breaking it apart into bits and using it as ammunition. I'm wondering, my thought was maybe with this weapon, maybe it's going to be like, as you kill enemies, you get their skulls and it becomes ammunition. What do you guys think of that? I think that would make sense, I guess. So it's like you have to kill to reload your ammo, but it's a much more literal way of replenishing. And that's crazy. And of course we have the chainsaw shield, which is interesting because it's really true to the push forward combat idea. So like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, they're not defensive games like at all. To heal yourself and to replenish things and to get resources, you can't hide, you have to push forward. And so even the defensive weapon of the shield is the offensive weapon also. So that's kind of cool. They didn't show how you get ammo. I know, that's something I'm not seeing here. They're not showing... it's so cool. So that is interesting. They're not showing chainsawing for ammo. and they're not showing, things like items coming out of the enemies as you kill them, which was like key to 2016 and Eternal. I'm sure they didn't fully abandon the idea of push forward combat, but maybe they've changed that up a little bit. I don't know what it's going to be. And then something I missed the first time around here that I saw people point out. Look at this. That was like a parry. Let me go back without the play button in the way. Look at this. Parry, shot. That's interesting. Parry system. Got the flail thing there. And this I missed entirely when I first reacted to the trailer, the mech suit. I didn't even notice that's what was going on. I was like paying attention to some other detail or mentioning it. But yeah, you have like those dead mech suits and the giants fighting each other, but they're like dead in like these different positions around Doom Eternal. But now you actually get to be part of those battles. That's pretty cool. And then of course the dragon. Doom the Dark Ages. Then we have the dragon killing the giant. 2025 is way too far away. But it is really interesting. So last time around, so there was Doom 2016, there was Doom Eternal, 4 years apart. And it was going to be less than that. And then it delayed from like November to March. So it ended up being about 4 years. But they announced Doom Eternal in like 2018? It was only a couple years after Doom 2016. And then there was like all this buildup. They would release more footage. There was like a very early trailer. And then there was E3, and then there was QuakeCon, and they were showing off the stuff. And it was like a long buildup. But this game, they said nothing for, it's been 4 years now. And now they're giving information like when it's really close to coming out. I mean, close as in next year, but I'm thinking it's going to be like March or something like that if I had to guess. I don't think it's going to be like September of next year. I think it's going to be early next year. Because they've been working on it for so long. But it's interesting they waited this long. They didn't I'm kind of glad because by the time Doom Eternal came out, I felt like I knew way too much. I mean, I devoured all the information that came out, partially because I was starting this channel up and I wanted to cover every trailer, every gameplay reveal, and it was good for the channel and it grew it. But I'm glad we haven't been covering this non-stop, for a couple of years at this point, waiting for it to come out. We're just hearing about it now, and it's not coming out till next year, but still, we're probably going to find out a bunch at QuakeCon. I imagine they're going to announce an early next year release, if I had to guess. I hope that's what it is, obviously. I wonder what the final boss will be. Well, up to this point, I don't know if it being a prequel is going to make a huge difference or not, but when they did 2016, it was the same final boss as in the original first Doom game. It was the Spider Mastermind. And then in Doom Eternal, it was the same boss as Doom 2, which was the Icon of Sin. And then, so this one, it's a prequel, so I don't know if they'll have the same boss that they had in I imagine if they match a boss from a previous game and follow this trend, it would maybe be the same boss that was in Doom 64. That's my first guess. I think the final boss in the original Doom 3 was, I think it was just basically another version of the Cyber Demon. Might be a Cyber, yeah, I don't think they're going to do Cyber Demon because the Cyber Demon's had its versions already. If I had to guess, it would be a remake of the Doom 64 boss, because remember, basically they solidified it so that the timeline goes from Doom to Doom 2 to Doom 64. They basically, in creating Doom Eternal, they canonized Doom 64 as the official Doom 3, if you know the lore. So it goes Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 2016, and then Doom Eternal. And this next game is basically going back to the time in between Doom 64 and Doom 2016. And so it'd be interesting if they revisited the boss from Doom 64. I feel like that would match the pattern of what they've been doing up through the remakes. Is this game set before or after the Slayer goes into the divinity machine? That's a good question. I think it's going to happen in this game. That's my guess. I think it's going to start before he goes to the divinity machine. And you're basically going to be human. And maybe like a big turning point in the game is when you get your powers. Because this takes place somewhere in the time frame, like when you're being trained or when you get found by the Night Sentinels. And yeah, it could be any time in that period, and it's during that period that you go in the divinity machine. So maybe you'll experience that in this game, if I had to guess.